Well, hello guys, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Loki in VR since we haven't talked about it before. And I bought a game. We finally got our refunds, and I bought a game on meditation. It's like the rival game. Now, the developer that made my game has no interest in being rivals, but these people clearly do. I'm getting a refund. Hopefully. I put in for a refund, so Oculus locked my game. I don't have the money back. And I'm like, okay, Sarah, blah, blah, blah. If I don't get it back, I don't get it back. But it was terrible. And the way a refund works for a game is different on every platform. Oculus, you can only play under 2 hours, and you have to like refund it within like so many days. So you kind of have to buy your game, play it under 2 hours if you're like kind of sketchy on what it's like. I first got into it and I'm like, oh, I don't like this because it was just too much intro. And because when I go into meditation, I want to go in and I'll have like all this stuff to sit through and wait because I'm fidgety, as you've noticed. And all these options that were nice enough, I suppose, but I was just like, it's kind of getting in my way. I just want to kind of dive in. So you could like have like a bunch of music selections, and I didn't like all the music, so I was already sensing problems. And you could choose whether or not you had a meditation, which I appreciated. I'm like, no, don't yap at me. I don't want bothered. I come to VR to be alone. Like the most antisocial person on VR, but I do. I'm here to meditate alone. And the first place I went was like, they have a thing for Egypt. Now that was beautiful. And the graphics are kind of, how do I say this? Corny, kind of like 90s video game, like when they first started to animate with computers. Like that. It was like kind of almost felt corny, cheesy, retro. And I'm like, I don't think I could meditate, but this would be fun. Until I realized it couldn't move. You would go to look around and it would just go boom, and like you'd move in this really weird way. And when you went to teleport, the whole screen flashed blinding light, and there was a sound, and there were sparkles in your eyes each and every time, and it was meant to do that. And I was ready to get sick. It was like the worst ride you've ever been on at any park. And so it wasn't relaxing. It certainly wasn't meditative because I was determined to see all of this Egyptian temple, and it was just like, oh. And it was a shame because there was a lot I did like. You could go like up into the air to get like a bird's eye view, and you could come back down again, but I already noticed in there that the perspective was way off. Like you were about this tall compared to an actual human being. So I was like, okay. And the next one I tried was an ocean. And it said endless ocean. And if you're familiar with video games, you know those like light shafts you'll see that, especially when they're trying to make waves. Instead of seeing the waves, you'll just see these light shafts. Well, that's all I saw. A sea of light shafts around me. No waves. And that was pretty bad. And then I went to a waterfall, and it turned out there was only the waterfall. If you tried to go beyond the waterfall, you just found ugly mount. And each one was worse. I tried an apartment. Yes, an apartment. I don't know why that would be for meditation, but I tried an apartment. And it like kind of was like a 50 Shades of Grey knockoff. And there were just so many problems. Like you teleport, and if you teleported the wrong way, you would like fall through stairs and you would end up somewhere else. You could fall off the map a lot if you teleported, like especially in the ones where you were in buildings. You could teleport out of the building by accident and it would look like you were going to fall. You would just see down for infinity, and it was like, oh, I'm so sick. So I obviously didn't enjoy that. And when I went to get my refund, I said, I'm sorry, but I can't do this. It was making me sick. It's the first time I've ever got sick in VR. So it was making me. No, the second time. I was saying it makes me sick to blink teleport, which is what we call it. And I said, it just, graphics are god awful, ugly graphics. It's like, it touts itself as this beautiful game, and it specifically targets the other game I have. It's saying that game is inferior because they have more. They have more because this developer will not fix all the mistakes and I think his team of developers are making. So it's like 20 or 30 or whatever it is, broken environments, and it's like, that's not even relaxing. If you really liked it, I'm happy for you, but to me it was like, this is not relaxing. I even tried, they had a thing, whatever they called it, where you traveled through, but you didn't get to be in control. The smooth locomotion was you just being kind of taken through. Like, have you seen those? If you watch a lot of game trailers, it was like that, like watching a game trailer. I just, that didn't feel relaxing at all. I felt like a cat going to the vet, and I was screaming and clawing and wanting out of the car. So it was not relaxing. It was the opposite of relaxing. It was aggravating, and I saw other people had the same reaction too. They were getting teleportation sick. It was aggravating to be carried. There was something about the game that rubbed a lot of us the wrong way. Other people completely love it. They love just sitting there staring at stuff. It's like, God, you must be boring. Because I realized, and this brings us to the point, and Loki, I think, wanted me to find out, I never stay still in meditation. I never do. I like to think that I do, because I'm sitting here. But I'm always moving. I'm always moving across the map in the nature treks. I'm always, like, looking for fish, and petting the fish and petting ducks. And I petted the tiger today because I was on the, I think he calls it bamboo green or something, and the tiger marched right up to me. He's like, "Rawr, where's my pet?" And I gave him little pets and was talking to him. I said, "Hey, I missed you, buddy." And then the tiger plopped down, so then the tiger wanted more pets. And I just like that one better because, one, I have free movement, and two, like, there's nothing to make you feel better than, say, a brown bear wandering over and wanting a pet and, like, almost knocking you over like that, so they get a pet. And it's fun because you can go into the dinosaur thing and pet dinosaurs, and you can go into all these different environments and pet all these animals that would, in real life, would rip your face off if you tried to pet them. I mean, I wouldn't, like, walk up to, like, any wild animal and try that. Obviously, I'm smarter than that, but it's kind of, I think it's half the charm. You can go, like, up to a gorilla and, like, pet them. And you couldn't do that in real life. They like their space. So I definitely found out which one I like more. And it was sad because there were elements of that game I liked, but I thought, even though I'm buying this with credit they gave me, I still don't like it enough to keep it. If they won't give me my refund, what they'll do is they'll unlock the game again, and they'll be like, here, you're keeping it. But I really got teleportation sick, and that is, ugh. You don't want to get teleportation sick, believe me. Some people get locomotion sickness in VR, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much about sickness, but everybody seems to be wired differently. Like, I can ride coasters, no problem. And I kind of like the feel you have, like, from smooth locomotion. But usually I adapt, and, like, that feeling goes away pretty fast. It's like, I get used to it and I adapt to that, but some people can't. So it's interesting. And Loki was just watching me, because I think he knew. Because we went to the waterfall, and it was really beautiful. It was really extremely beautiful waterfall. And I just started to feel crazy because that's all you could do, sit there and stare at the waterfall. I'm like, nope, No, 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 no. What else is around here? Sister Blink teleporting, and I'm like looking for anything else to do, and there was nothing else to do. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. Um, and it was a shame because it has so much potential. I was almost thinking if the guy that does the one that I like could take that over, how much better it could be. Because it would be more polished. It would be more put together. The graphics would be much better. There would be nanimals all over the place. Didn't like it. So what we ended up doing is I bought a coaster pack that's been on sale for a while. And that I ended up spending my own money on, but it was like $1.99, so I didn't care. And I think I had like 1 penny of credit left, so I got 1 penny off. And that I loved. That was amazing. That I really loved. And that was actually meditation for me today, being on the coaster. It just was so relaxing to be on the coaster. I know that sounds weird, but VR coasters are really different. A lot of times they're more like a soothing old time coaster where they were thinking about getting excited, but whoa, slow down there, buddy. Just think about it. Don't actually get exciting. So yeah, it was strange, and I think Loki was highly amused because he was watching me try so hard to like master the teleportation, and I was teleporting outside of buildings and almost falling off the map, and he was watching me because there were beautiful points of interest in some of the maps, and some of the maps were just ugly throwaway maps that you can tell they made just to make money to justify like bumping up the price every so often because look, there's new maps, and they were so ugly. And it was like, dude, this doesn't even remotely look like outside. How have you been outside in the last couple years? This is not outside, but you know, to each their own. There are some people that probably know what game I'm talking about, and they're like, how dare you? That's the best game ever. But it wasn't my cup of tea, and Loki was just highly amused because he was watching me struggle, like I said, to master teleportation, to try to sit still and look at something. And it goes against my nature, and I couldn't go against my nature and try to meditate that way. And he goes, well, they have 30 or 40 or whatever, they have all these meditations that you could listen to. And I'm like, shut up, Loki. And he's laughing hysterically. And I'm like, no, I don't want anybody talking to me. And he's like, well, they got music. And I'm like, you know, this music gets on my nerves. And he was just having way too much fun with it. He's like, yeah, you're going nuts. This is so much fun. I mean, eventually he took pity on me. He's like, okay, get the refund because you obviously hate this. It was ugly. If a 9-year-old child had done it and developed all that, I would have been like, yeah, you are awesome. You go. Adults had developed it, and it was like, really? Did you let your kids make this game? Dude, that's bad. It sucks. A lot of bad is not as good as one piece of good, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah. So it was mostly, I think I mostly talked about VR, but Loki was highly amused. He was just like, he knew my nature. I can't go sit still. I never go sit still when I go for walks. I will sit still a little bit, but not for long. Then I'm up and I'm like restless and walking around and everything else. So it was torture. If the gods ever want to torture me, they know how now. They'll just not let me get a refund. They'll be like, guess what game you get to keep? Awesome. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.